Jose nowhere to be found.
All right. I see you guys in the chat. All right. This game too easy. You don't be clocking us 1 minute late. What is this? Urban saying late already? What? Like, I'm gonna start calling y'all the new Danity. That's what Danity used to do to us back in the day. All right.
A little watch emoji. Listen, yeah. I'm gonna repeat it again because some of you obviously haven't heard me say this before. We're not late. The show starts when we get here. Right? I want to hear it.
In the very beginning, we were very mindful about starting right on time, and they haven't forgotten. They are spoiled with that.
It's ridiculous.
If we say 7:45, they expect those credits to start rolling at 7:45. All right, I appreciate that.
I'll tell you what. Maybe from now on, we'll just put up one of those screens like the show's starting soon.
Yeah,
it'll be live. Right?
That actually would help. What's going on, LBHT crew? It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching this, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime at noon. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave a 5-star review. Who is in here? Yes, Urban was here telling us that we're late. I know. Game too easy told us we're late. Carmela Moody, what's going on? Good evening. Look, the super producer is here. Adelia, salute. Says, hey, everyone. If you're coming in early, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you hadn't, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Facts.
Yeah, Urban, hit the notification bell, and then you won't be early just sitting here.
Hey, it's okay.
That's not what happened.
I don't mind waiting.
You was early.
If you would like to guarantee your question or comment is read on air, Super Chat is available, facts, or the Cash App, $LBHTShow. And that Cash App will get you an animation of Microphone Man doing the Park Heights strut, or his rendition of it, at least. Thanks for helping this keep things running around here. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Also, some of y'all may not have gotten the newsletter that came out. We discovered an issue on the back end of our website, so we're trying to work that out. We apologize for the inconvenience, but keep signing up. They're there somewhere. We'll find them. We gotta get this list sorted out. But the people that got it, I hope you voted on the poll, because we'll be talking about the results later on. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the newsletter is back. It's back. All right. I've been promising for 2 years, and now we're here.
And now it's delivered. All right. So that's how that goes.
I was saying, what up, y'all? The goons from Fells Point Mafia sent me. That's right. I don't know how it, well, you know what? It was the sweatshirt I was wearing. I was wearing Fells Point Mafia, and it rehashed a whole interview with your boy Bobby. And it's funny because every time somebody in chat brings it up, there's always somebody in there that doesn't know that Bobby's not a fan of Baltimore sports. And then they want to know what happened, and then they want to go back to the interview, and they're like, yo, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, he assured us that you all knew. So I don't know. Just Aloe salute says, good evening, LBHT friends. I hope everyone is well. If EDC drafts a defensive back or inside linebacker, I hope you guys will promise to visit me in jail. Assaulting a GM is a crime, I think. I thought you were going to say you're going to visit us in jail. I was like, no. But yes. Those are the two things that will really make me crash out. And I don't think they'll do that. I am preparing for a move that I'm not going to like, but I don't expect to hate it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I won't hate it, but I'm not going to like it either.
We'll see.
Day 2, Friday is the day you'll really see me be like, all right, I can't with this GM anymore. Right. That'll be the day. But round 1, I'm keeping an open mind. Overall, the vibes in Baltimore are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. So I'm pretty upbeat about things, even if I don't think they'll do the right thing. I don't feel like they're gonna mess it up, at least day 1.
Okay, we'll see.
Sorry. Go ahead, click on
that.
What up, Kwame?
What's up, Kwame? He says, oops, that's the wrong one too. Oh my goodness.
What up, Northside Sports?
Just Allo wants me to bring him comic books in jail. He likes Marvel. Jose is the comic book guy. Not me. Anyway. I don't mess with comic books. The stories are ridiculous. It's all bad. They cost too much, and they're only like 7 pages long. I don't do that.
Well, not when I collected them. They were $2.
Okay, whatever. Well, thank you very much, Blair, being a member for 1 month.
Thank you.
I saw a report on NFL Rumors on X, on Twitter, saying that the Ravens could have interest in trading for George Pickens. Your guys' thoughts on that report? NFL Rumors is not an insider. They just kind of make stuff up. And I don't think that Dallas is going to be looking to trade George Pickens, but if they are interested in trading George Pickens, I know that Baltimore will not be interested in trading for him.
Oh, no. That's where you're wrong. They will be interested, right? They just won't. They won't act on that interest.
That's where you're wrong. They will tell people they were interested. They're not going to be interested.
It's literally their favorite thing to do is to tell people that they're interested. Who else we got in here? Stacy's in the house. What's going on, Stacy? Thanks for coming through. We got Noah. Salute to Noah. And Noah's sent in a Cash App, right?
Yes, he did. He said he's hoping that the Baltimore Ravens draft Vega on Thursday night.
Salute to you, Noah. Thank you for the Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm hoping that as well. Our guy Hendo from the Roll Pod and Jose and Hendo in the morning.
Salute. Bringing Hendo. Listen, hey, I know that Hendo is a very, very popular. What's up, Raven C?
What's up, Raven C?
I know that Hendo's a very, very popular guy on Ravens YouTube. I know y'all love Hendo in his frequent live streams and videos. You have him on Jose and Hendo in the morning. And I know that you all would love to see him streaming on draft night. Right?
He's gonna be there.
On Coach Thursday night of the draft. If you want to see Hendo there, let him know in the chat.
He was in the thumbnail. Okay, once you're in the thumbnail, you can't take it back.
It's like a contract.
What up, Stretch?
We did get another. What's going on, Stretch? We did get another Cash App from AD. Hey. Ravens drafting another safety. Thank you.
Thank you, AD. Good to hear from you. Imani in the house. What's going on, Imani? Appreciate you coming through. Killer, I see you in here. Shelly Shell, good evening. King's in the house. What's going on?
What's up, King?
We got Point. We got Jemiah Barnes. Salute. Did I skip somebody? I think I did. No. We're good. We can keep going. Oh, no, I did. Because Tracy is here. What's up, Tracy? Yes, ready for what tomorrow brings with the draft. I am ready. I am ready. I think it's gonna be positive.
It's been a long time with just those dark thunder clouds over Baltimore. It's been dreary and gray and raining and just a real downtrodden fan base with that other dude running the show. But now he's gone and the sun is out and it's a brand new day. And Baltimore's going to do the right thing. They're going to do the right thing tomorrow. They're going to draft Vega or Fano. And then you know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to do with it? On Friday, they're going to hit that offensive line again. All right. Okay. They're going to bring in another interior offensive lineman on Friday. They're going to make sure that Lamar is good. That Lamar doesn't have to run. That Lamar doesn't have to escape. that he doesn't have to be the magician that he's been back there for the past 8 years. That he can just, he can stand back and trust those five in front of him to keep him upright and keep him clean, so that you can pick between his one receiver that he has to throw to.
My opinion of EDC will change drastically if he attempts to do that in the draft this weekend. AD, you really want to put yourself out there like that? So they used to complain about me being late to the office. Guess he can't take his own medicine. Listen, y'all. There's late, and then there's AD late. Okay, I'm a few minutes late, and hey, bro, don't even bother coming in. All right, just go ahead, just turn back around. Okay, there's different types of late.
Yeah. I heard them stories, Adrian, and those were the kind of things where it was just like you didn't know you were scheduled to come in that day.
Black Daniels, what's going on, man? Salute to you. Who else is in here? Let's get some quick shout outs. We got a Black History Fact, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, see, Tracy says she's never gotten a newsletter, and okay. Tracy, so there's something on our end. I don't know where the email it's collecting somewhere. We have to find that list. But we'll get that taken care of. And I knew people were sending in more. You're signing up for it. I just don't know where it's going. We did a complete overhaul of the website, and there's some things there's a couple of hiccups there. We gotta get that worked out. That's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it fixed. Kyler Robbins is in the house, or Kyle Robbins. Kyle Robbins in the house. Draft Eve, just don't trade back. I hear you.
Yeah, that's true.
I hear you. Slim Smith, salute.
I'm not even against a trade back, because look, for us, a trade back is not ideal, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. It's their job to know where these players are going to go. It's their job to know, if Vega will slip to 17, 18, 19, wherever, and if they can trade back and still get the guy that they want and pick up extra picks. That's for them to know. We're not privy to that kind of information. So a trade back doesn't automatically disqualify or make it a bad move to me, right?
Yeah.
But y'all better not trade back. You gotta let them picks.
All right, we're gonna get to draft talk in a second. All right, let's hit the Black History Fact, and then I want to read this comment from Shelly Shell. All right, and then we're gonna do a lot of draft talk. That's pretty much gonna be the show today. All right, but first, we like to kick off every show with a Black History Fact, and B and Akole have a Black History Fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Calvin Pete's life reads like a story of grit, late-blooming talent, and relentless discipline. Born in Detroit in 1943 and raised in a large family that moved between Michigan, Missouri, and Florida, he grew up in deep poverty and carried a permanent injury from a childhood fall that left his left arm unable to fully straighten. What should have been a lifelong limitation instead became part of the compact, repeatable swing that later defined his game. Pete left school early and spent years selling goods to migrant workers before discovering golf at 23, an age when most professionals were already deep into competition. Once he picked up a club, though, he threw himself into the sport with obsessive focus, practicing under floodlights, studying technique, and refining his mechanics until he earned his PGA Tour card in 1975. His rise through the golf world was steady and undeniable. Pete claimed his first PGA Tour victory in 1979 and went on to win 12 tournaments between 1979 and 1986, making him the most successful African-American golfer in PGA Tour history before Tiger Woods. His crowning achievement came in 1985, when he won the Tournament Players' Championship, becoming the first black golfer to claim that title. But his true legend was built on precision. For 10 straight years, from 1981 to 1990, he led the PGA Tour in driving accuracy, earning the nickname Mr. Accuracy, and setting records, like hitting more than 84% of fairways in 1983, that still stand as benchmarks of control and consistency. He also represented the United States in the 1983 and 1985 Ryder Cups, a remarkable feat for someone who had only recently earned his high school equivalency to qualify. Pete continued competing on the senior tour before retiring in 2001, leaving behind a legacy defined not by power or flash, but by mastery, discipline, and quiet dominance. When he died in 2015 at age 71, he left the game with a blueprint for what determination can achieve, and he opened doors for generations of black golfers who followed.
Salute to the Black History Fact. That's a really good one.
Thank you very much to Ferris who sent that in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ferris. I see Ferris in the chat too, man. What's going on? Devin Janelle over in Japan. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. All right. So Shelly, she watched the video where we had the civil conversation with Bobby. Okay. Mm-hmm. She said she watched the conversation, and to say that was uncomfortable and awkward is an understatement. Yeah. Bobby is quick to talk, bleep, but when he's confronted, he tucks tail.
Shelly, I wasn't uncomfortable at all. I was fine.
Yeah,
it might have been awkward for somebody on screen. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody on screen. Yeah. Okay, so it's weird. Like, a lot of people have been bringing it up lately. Maybe it's like being suggested to folks. I don't know, but the story behind that was, yes, we had a little bashing session on Bobby because he was criticizing Baltimore Orioles fans for not showing up to the playoffs. And when fans were questioning him if he went, he revealed that he in fact was not a Baltimore fan at all, because he's a journalist or whatever, and he has no allegiance to teams, blah blah blah. So they were killing him on Twitter. They were killing him, and we did a video about it.
A lighthearted segment.
Well, he said
friends.
He said it was a bloodbath. Okay.
Gross.
And he was so upset, he DM'd us and asked to come on to the show the following week.
Which I thought was odd.
I thought it was odd too. But he hit us up first thing in the morning. It's like, yo, can I come on? It's like, all right. And he spent the week on both of his shows, The Vault, his show on his channel, just talking about us and talking about how, he wants to go on and have a civil conversation and clear the air and all this stuff.
If it's possible to have a civil conversation with us.
If it's possible. And, he was rallying the troops because they didn't know, I didn't know who we were. And then they came over. And, what's funny? I don't think most of them even realized we were black. They came over here. They're like, hold up. That's them? Hold up. They do a Black History Fact? Oh, okay. Change the tone a little bit. And then we brought him on and we're questioning him about being MAGA, and then he had to admit he slightly admitted, right? Because he couldn't get out of it because we pulled up receipts and he was just like, I don't know what else he has. So let me concede on that and say I don't talk politics. Ooh, that chat was on fire. That chat was on fire. All right. And then of course, like the final humiliation was he threw his partner under a bus.
Yeah, that was dirty.
That was dirty. But that was a while ago. It is what it is. Like we don't go back and forth with them. He wanted to come on and say his piece. I don't know what he was thinking. Like he came on here. He didn't know anything, right? Like he said he did. He was telling us we didn't do our homework, but he didn't know our names. He thought there was 4 of us on the show. You know, he said he checked the show notes, but he couldn't find anything, even though that's the first thing you see when you click the description. It's Jose and Brodny.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was, it was, it was weird. I think he thought, look, he thought lesser of us. Let's just put it that way. He didn't think we were going to call him out on all his BS and pull up all the receipts, but you know, whatever, you know,
he thought he
looked to him, I guess.
Here and throw around some charm and charisma, and we were gonna end up being friends.
Oh, did he delete his tweets? Yeah, see that. So that's what made him. So that's what made it uncomfortable for him. He didn't know I had them. Yeah, I screenshotted all of them. They were there for. I mean, they were just up there.
Yeah,
they were just up there. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was hiding it until I said, "Hey, like you're like, you know, why you being all weird about it? Like, if that's what you are, that's what you are." I thought he was going to stand on it, but then he's like, "I don't talk politics." I'm like, "But it's on your timeline."
Right.
Yeah. What does MAGA have to do with anything? Well, nothing. A MAG. I called him MAGA Bobby, and he brought that up. Everything that was brought up on the show was Bobby's doing. Okay. Everything that was brought up on the show, we were cracking jokes. We were calling him, you know,
Bobby Dundalk.
Bobby Dundalk, you know, Bobby Upstate, you know, I called him MAGA Bobby, you know, we just cracking jokes. And the MAGA Bobby is what stood out to him. And he was saying that we didn't have our facts straight, but we in fact did have our facts straight. Okay. So, you know, if that's what you are, that's what you are, you know. You want to say, hey, these lefties over here, you know, fine. You know, we'll stand on anything. Anything that we say, we stand on it. We don't try to hide who we are. Yeah. Yes. I thought it was funny too.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. So he didn't like that. But then when I started pulling up the tweets, he asked, you know, that we take them down. And I was like, well, you know, they're your tweets. So,
right.
But anyway, he threw Sarah under a bus. I don't feel bad for Sarah either. We had smoke for both of them. Sarah was smart enough not to come onto the show though. It is what it is. It is what it is. That was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's popping back up in people's timelines. That's funny. But anyway, draft time. Okay. I agree. We should not be trading back. What's up, Bazel? Salute to you.
What's up, Bazel?
Mohammed, I see you in here. I see you, Ashley. What's up, Ashley? No, yeah, we have 10 picks or 11 picks, whatever it is.
11 picks, yeah.
We shouldn't be trading back. We should be trading up. In fact, me and Hendo did a mock draft this morning. We went on the same website we did the other day.
Yeah.
And we were playing around. The chat got involved, and they found out, like, when you sit tight, the players that you think are going to be there aren't always there, especially for the Ravens. Pick 14, everybody's off the board that we wanted. Yeah, Spencer Fano, Jordan Tyson. There's a couple of guys, but the you know, Vega was gone. Obviously, Ruben Bain is gone. You know, I think Makai Lemon was gone. Like it was slim pickings, and it's like we got to protect Lamar, so we went Fano. Coach hated that pick, by the way. I didn't know he hated Fano so much. Listen, I trust Coach's I trust his film breakdown.
Is it his versatility?
Hey, if he says that ain't the pick, I mean, he was too slow to type it. Had I known that was going to be, then I wouldn't have gone that route. But he typed too slow.
Is it because he can't reliably cover the back end and free up Kyle Hamilton to do what he does? Yeah,
I agree, Hendo. I thought we nailed it. So we did Final in the first round. We did Besantis. He was a guard. We did him. We got Besantis in the second round, and we got Connor Lew in the third round. So we got tackle, guard, and the center.
My man said his lack thereof. But he could play everything, coach. Tackle, guard, center, whatever you need. My goodness.
Like I said, had he typed it a little bit faster, I wouldn't have done
it.
I trust Coach's opinion on that. But the point is to get O linemen, and we did that. We did that. It was at least a year ago. I still worked for Jose back then. Oh, when we did, yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was
You
a
did.
it was a little over a year ago.
Yeah. Not their personal names. My bad. They acted like they couldn't pronounce SV Cam the name. Oh, you could pronounce the name of the show. Oh, you talking about Sarah? Whatever.
Whatever. Something lunchbox? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. They try to. Well, yes, they deny that they ever talked about us on the show, right? Because he made a big thing about, oh well, why are you even talking about us or this is and that? Why are you talking about me? I'm like, you guys brought us up first, prior, and he's like, oh, I had no idea what you're talking about. We had that clip ready too. They did a whole segment on us that they forgot.
She also took down,
Trading back could be very effective if you know what you're doing. However, EDC is iffy on that point. Yeah, Osman. So usually when I do these mock drafts, playing around, and of course it's a lot easier on a website, right? It's just But what I try to do, if I get an offer to go back, let's say like 5 picks, usually a team will offer like a 3rd round pick. They'll say, we're picking 14. Well, you're 19th, right? Okay, let's say the Panthers want to move up. They'll offer the 19th pick and their 3rd round pick, and we give them the 14th pick and a 5th round pick, something like that. Something like that. As long as we can still get the play that we're targeting, is ideal because I want to move as much of those later picks upwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they're able to do that, which it's not easy to do, but you've been doing this for years and you gotta be able to do it.
Well, but it's not easy to do, especially in a draft class that everybody agrees it's not great.
Yeah.
Like there aren't players that the teams are just dying to move up and get,
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing about trading back is like Eric Tecasa has not been good drafting in the later rounds. So why give him more picks in the later rounds to burn?
Right.
Like you said,
and
package some of those picks and move up and get more impactful players. Fewer, but more impactful players.
Yeah, I keep saying I was going to go back and find the quote, but I'm pretty sure he said that in the first round, like after a certain point in the first round, the talent starts to drop off, right? And that's the first round. So what's the talent like in the 5th round?
Right.
Like get as much talent as you can at the top of the draft. I wouldn't be mad they did the Vikings thing. It didn't work out for the Vikings, but I respect the hustle. They traded a bunch of picks and just got 3 first-round picks one year.
It's funny though because like a few teams have done that, and it's always teams that are bad at drafting. Because the Raiders also did that, and they missed on 2 out of the 3 of their picks. I think Cleveland did it one year, and they missed on a couple of them. But if you think you know what you're doing, that can be a very impactful strategy, right? Like you get a draft class that comes in and really hits the ground running. But yeah, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know who you're taking.
Let me ask y'all this. Put it in the chat. If the Ravens were able to package up most of their picks, maybe a couple of picks next year, add a player or something like that, and just able to get 3 first-round picks, that's pretty much the draft. It'll be 3 first-round picks, and then there might be a 6 or 7 round pick later on. But the majority of your draft is the first round. You have 3 picks. Who are those picks? That's what I want to know. Who are the picks?
Those picks
obviously they won't be like the top 10 guys.
Yeah, but those picks are going to be Vega. It's going to be, I'm going to say Casey Concepcion a little later, and then I'm going to say that what I would do is try to grab Pregnon at the end of the first round. What I think Baltimore would do is probably grab maybe a Chris Johnson, or the top corner still left towards the end of the first round.
I don't want them going corner at all.
No,
I'd rather they go D tackle. I'd rather they go like McDonald or something like that.
Yeah.
Lee Hunter, that's another one that's kind of
that's the craziest thing. The mock drafts I've seen recently, there's no defensive tackles going in the first round.
Really.
Yeah, it's an especially weak class. And the guys who are at the top are looking at second round, like McDonald, Caleb Banks, Peter Woods. But the last few that I've seen didn't have any defensive tackles going in the first round.
Well, guess what? We ain't got a second round pick. The answer is that here's what we're doing, y'all. Here's what we're doing in the first round. We're doing Vega. We're doing Pregnon, and we're getting either Spencer Fano so he can convert to center, or we're gonna have to really reach and get Sam Hecht.
I don't know why you're just overlooking Corey Bullock and Pinter,
because we need those guys because they won't be there in the 6th round, and
whatever free agent centers are available.
And early on, I can't remember who was in the chat earlier when we were in the 3rd round. We were looking to get something other than center, right? We're tempted to get something else. There was a play on the board. We're like, oh man, like we're looking at this. And somebody in the chat said it. They're like, do you want Danny Pinter or do you want Connor Lew? and it snapped us out of it. We're like, oh yeah, we got to get our center. Yeah, Lee Hunter. Yeah. Okay, Vega. I see Vega. No, okay, you're putting one name. I want your 3. Put 3 names. I want you to put 3 names that we have. Just hypothetical. We have 3 first round picks. Give me your 3. Give me your 3 that you want. Oh, God made me said it. Yeah. God made me said it. Shout out to you. He said Connor Lew or Danny Pinter. I wouldn't count on Matt BK this year. No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play. I think even if he's healthy, I don't know how that neck injury works or what the recovery time is. But even if, let's say he's ready to go week 1, he's all cleared. It's going to take some time for him to ramp up. They're not going to just throw him out there and get full snaps. He missed a whole year, right? And you don't want him to just go out there and get full snaps. So it'll be some time before he builds up to what we remember him to be. So yeah, I wouldn't count on that. Not early on, at least.
I want to say something real quick too. Nero here saying Vega, Sadiq, and McDonald. First of all, you're not getting Vega and Sadiq. They're both going to go high for this scenario where we're talking about trading back into the first round, right? But second of all, what's your problem?
What's going on?
Second of all, what's your problem? All right, because on this show we cover the Baltimore Ravens and we cover the Carolina Panthers. I'm a Panthers fan. I want Kenyon Sadiq, and that this has been a harmonious existence for the many years that we've done this show. And I want to know again, no emojis. What's your problem? All right, stay off of Kenyon Sadiq. Get your hands off my tight end. All right.
Okay, so Silver Fox says I've had 2 neck surgeries. It takes 3 to 5 months to recover. Okay. What type? I don't want to get too personal. What type of surgery? I'm not sure if it's the same surgery that he got, right? But let's just go with that. 3 to 5 months. We're in April, so May, June, July, right? That's July's the earliest. August, September. So September is the beginning of the season. So he could be ready to go near the beginning of the season. But even still. Even if he was ready in July, he's like, hey, he's full go in July. He can attend training camp and everything. I still would take my time with them, What are you taking at?
My man said we getting Peter Woods. You get him up out of here.
So Peter Woods at one point was projected to be a first round pick. Is he not a first round pick anymore?
And then he played his last year of college football, and now he is not. So it is what it is.
I don't know. This draft is really hard to gauge. I think some of these names that people are trying to downplay are going to end up first round picks.
Sure, not Peter Woods though. We didn't get a cash.
What's up, Kobe?
I'm Kobe. Thank you very much. You just can't count on Namdi, need DJ Reader or CC as depth. I know you're not. I know you're not talking about. 40-year-old Calais Campbell.
Y'all
got to let that one go, man. Let that man rest.
Just draft Peter Woods. We're gonna do that.
Plus DJ Reader is apparently going to the Giants, who just traded away an elite defensive tackle who y'all will now have to block in Dexter Lawrence.
I heard that. I heard that it's pretty much a done deal. And that's why when you have somebody in the building, you just sign them.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the Ravens, and this was not started by EDC. This was not started by EDC. This is something that Ozzy started here, right? But that is an old trend. That's an old way of thinking. That's an old method that doesn't work anymore. Not in today's NFL. We have to change the way we conduct business. We're bringing guys into the building, and we're like, okay, work them out a little bit, talk to them. All right, we'll call you after the draft, and you want to use them as a contingency plan. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, other teams like, no, just bring them on, right? Because what are you really going to like? What are you really going to get in the draft? We have 10 picks. We're only expecting 3 of them to actually work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just looked I'm sorry. No, I just looked at Daniel Jeremiah's final mock draft. He's got Kenyon Steed going to Baltimore.
You know why? Because if you think about it, who are the 2 veterans that they brought in for visits? They brought in DJ Reader,
mm-hmm.
and they brought in what's his name? Njoku.
Yeah.
Right? The tight end. So they might be tipping the hand a little bit. Like they're looking at either a D tackle or tight end, at least in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, they ain't going D tackle at 14. And you better not be going tight end at 14. It's ridiculous. There's so many tight ends in this class. It's just, that is
can't lose our beloved 4th round comp picks. Right.
Thank you very much, Kobe.
Thank you, Kobe.
I don't like I know that Daniel Jeremiah at one point had been very plugged in with Baltimore. I don't know how true that still is. Hopefully not at all. But yeah, he's got you passing on Vega and taking Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. Sadiq, I wouldn't be mad at that, right? I wouldn't be mad at that, but man, like at some point you have to put the investment into the O-line.
I'm sorry. I read the rest of it. He also has Baltimore trading back into the first round at pick 32 to take one Peter Woods.
There you go, first round.
Yeah. I would laugh in y'all's faces if that was your first round.
So do you think he can't play?
I think that you don't spend a first round pick to find out on him. Like he from what I saw, he did not test well athletically. He did not have a good year at Clemson, this past season. And that's, not that it's not a need for Baltimore, but it's not your top need.
No, it's not.
And if you're going to pass on an offensive lineman at 14 and then trade back into the first round, you better be doing it to take an offensive lineman. I already don't like them taking Sadiq. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Kenyon Sadiq as a player. I don't like Baltimore taking Sadiq because you had the guy already. You had Isaiah Likely on your roster and you let him go. You had Charlie Kolar on your roster and let him go. Stop creating holes to fill them in the first round of the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think it would be a great fit. I think he would perform very well for Baltimore, but they need to prioritize the offensive line, and it's something that they just have not done for years in Baltimore, and it's time for that to stop.
That is a good point, though, right? Because how much did Isaiah Likely make?
He was between 13 and 14. It was a little bit more than what Mark Andrews got. So I think a little bit more than what they had offered him in Baltimore. But again, much like we talked about with
how much do first rounders make?
It'll be less, but not at pick 14. But I don't know. I don't have the specific numbers there. But
okay, 13 and a half.
Like we talked about with Tyler Linderbaum, you could have franchised him for right around that same amount of money and just kept him.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
We did get a super chat from our guy Hendo. Thank you very much. Says, are we getting an early morning LBHT draft stream? Are you going to be on?
No, I can't tomorrow. I gotta be out the house early tomorrow.
Guess not. There is going to be an evening stream with us. We'll be on with Coach, with the guys from Deep Cover Pod, and I believe Rogue Pod as well.
Yeah, I believe so. Tracy says, "Poor B. I hope Panthers
Thank
gets
you,
the D."
Tracy. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why we love Tracy over here.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Let's see. Game to Easy says, "Wide receiver or O-line." That's Nitro said it in this video. If you're not going to give Lamar a shield, give him a sword at least. Facts.
Yeah, there you go.
Facts. Shout out to Nitro. That's our guy. But give them both.
Yeah.
Give them both. You know what? Here's what I want to see. Why can't we do drastic things on offense? We were willing to give up 2 first-round picks for an edge rusher, an amazing edge rusher, right? And nobody was mad at that. I didn't like it, but I wasn't hating it either.
Mm-hmm.
But why can't we trade up to get Carnell Tate and then trade back into the first round and get somebody and get a guard or a tackle? Why can't we do something extreme?
You might not even have to trade up. Jordan Tyson might fall right into your lap.
There you go. I take that.
And this, I know he has the injury issues, but outside of those, he is the best wide receiver in this class. And sometimes those will hit you for a short period and then disappear, right? And it might be a career long thing, but that's the chance you have to take. That's a chance with everybody they're drafting. I mean, you don't know any of these guys are going to be and stay healthy throughout their career. If you're sitting there and you need a wide receiver, why not?
Yeah. So tomorrow's gonna be interesting. Trade for Pickens. That is Lamar's sword. Oh yeah, I'll gladly give it that pick for Pickens. No problem. Mm-hmm. And I want to give EDC all the props in the world. Y'all have no idea. Okay. Early on when we started our podcast, I showed faith in EDC. I said, look, he's not doing a good job right now, but he is. He's going to get it right. He's going to be fine. Like these picks are going to work out. He's going to do the right thing. But after a while, I just saw the pattern, and I see him doing the same thing over and over. And I'm just like, you know what? You can't do it.
Yeah,
you just can't do it.
Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and you have to be able to recognize that and work around it. Like, listen, I'm a big fan of what Dan Morgan's been doing in Carolina.
Yeah,
Dan Morgan don't know quarterbacks. Dan Morgan can't find a quarterback to save his life, because I have seen him this offseason sign 2 quarterbacks. One was named Kenny Pickett and one was named Will Grier. There's not a half decent arm between the two.
Yeah, he could have done better than that.
He could have done way better than that. And he failed twice on that. Right? Then you look back to last season. Andy Dalton. You're hanging on. That's bad. He doesn't.
He also got a draft pick for Andy Dalton. That was amazing.
He did. But yeah, that's the thing. That's his strength, right? He's great at working the phones and getting deals done. Jonathan Mingo as well. But he cannot spot quarterback talent, apparently.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. You have your starting quarterback.
No, he doesn't have to. I'm just saying that's a weakness of his, and so that's something you just have to be aware of, right? Eric DaCosta, he can't really spot wide receivers. Okay, he can't spot O linemen in the later rounds.
Rounds, yeah.
He can't spot edge rushers, not really. So those are things you have to compensate for.
Yeah.
So when you need an offensive lineman, maybe take him in the first instead of the fourth, right? If you need an edge rusher, maybe sign one can play instead of burning 5 or 6 draft picks on him, trying to find the guy. You know what I mean? And then when one of those guys actually does develop and shows you that he can play, maybe re-sign him instead of trading him for a third safety.
Yeah. Facts. Shug says, what's up, Shug? Over on Twitch, holding it down, says, the bigger question, are you a fan of the Jedi B?
The Jedi are cowards. The Jedi are cowards. They're cowards and losers.
Much like EDC, I want to root for them.
Yeah.
I just don't have any faith in them.
Yeah. I mean, the only one holding it down is Obi-Wan. And even he's not he looks stronger based off of the company he keeps. Right. But then, you had the greatest weapon in the history of sci-fi, and then you nerf that. Apparently that can't kill anybody anymore. It does nothing. Yeah. Woman got stabbed in the chest with a lightsaber and she was in the hospital eating Jell-O the same day. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, they've done a terrible job. They didn't do a hard reset on the whole Star Wars franchise.
The Jedi looking weak out here.
They all are. Even the Sith, because Kylo Ren was weak.
Kylo Ren was weak.
So okay. Likely got 3 years, 40 million, 27 million guaranteed. What is the contract for a first round rookie? Well, I'm trying to do a comparison, right? Because if that's how much he got, and we didn't want to pay that, but we do. I'm trying to prove B's point here a little bit, right? If they're making similar money, then why didn't you just keep the guy that you already know can play?
Well, I think the rookie would be making less,
yes,
especially early on. But then
but how much less?
Let's see. So for the 2026 draft pick 14, expected to receive a 4-year fully guaranteed contract worth roughly 23.23 million. So,
but that's all guaranteed, and that's similar, right? Because 40 million, but 27 million is guaranteed. That 23 million is fully guaranteed. You're only talking about $4 million difference in guaranteed money.
Yeah, but it's also an extra year, so like it's less. Every year. But of course, we don't know what Likely's cap hits are for those 3 seasons, because it's not going to be over 13 in each of those years. It's not how the deals work. But also, you don't know if the guy that's drafted 14 can play. And
correct.
In theory that Isaiah Likely can be your starter.
Yes. Kobe, thank you for another super chat. Says EDC spends all his scout money to scout Nigeria. Hey, Kobe, there's another guy out there. There's another guy out there. I picked him up in our mock draft this morning. Okay, you guys heard of him? All right, I'm gonna say it one time. Don't be repeating this. Uar Bernard. Okay, you guys seen this guy? Defensive tackle from Nigeria. He's 300 pounds of solid rock solid muscle. He can run like a 4.6 40. Has a crazy vertical.
I mean, and can't play a lick of football.
We'll teach him that. Okay, we'll teach him that. That's why he's getting picked in the 7th round.
Yeah, okay.
Right. But no. All joking aside, those are the prospects that you look for in the 7th round. Right. That's exactly what you look for in the 7th round. You're gonna, that's a throwaway pick, but get somebody like that if somehow it could click for him, you have the ultimate weapon. And if it doesn't work out, okay, it's a 7th round pick.
Yeah. Kwame says, "What's this gibberish? Only Star Trek I know had Pharrell in it." So, all right, listen, just terrible takes from Kwame as usual.
Pharrell.
I mean, you got this Star Trek nonsense. You got Ohio State, like it's all bad, Kwame. You need to take a time.
Star Trek is not nonsense. I love Star Trek. The Next Generation.
Star Trek sucks. That's all right though. That's okay.
How about UDFA? Yeah, sure.
But then he has the choice to go wherever. Right. And we always aren't we always the ones that missing out on players, and we talk about, hey, they have to want to be here. Right? I don't want to give them the option. You're coming here. y'all way too cheap to be trying to lure people as undrafted free agents.
Then we get Voorhees in the 7th. Yeah, we got Voorhees in the 7th.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And you got a full season of starting out of him.
Let me ask y'all this. Speaking of Voorhees, Voorhees still on the team. If they go through camp, they have a battle. This is a brand new coaching staff. We have a world-renowned offensive line coach, right? That we trust. If they go through a whole battle for all the positions, and Voorhees wins the starting job, do you have confidence in Voorhees this year? Do you say, okay, he took his lumps, it was a completely different coaching staff. This new coaching staff said, okay, we see where he needed to work on. We worked on it. We trust him. He's good to go. Do you guys feel comfortable with that?
If that happens, I say you fire Eric DaCosta immediately.
I say, if that happens, I say maybe Lefford ain't it. Maybe he ain't the man for the job. Maybe Justin Minter isn't the man for the job, because as Coach Evans would tell you, as much as y'all couldn't stand Falele, Voorhees was worse. And when he first said it, I couldn't see it. But then, Coach breaks down the tape. Falele had the more clippable moments for sure, the more viral moments.
Mm-hmm.
But Voorhees was losing every snap. This man was on his back every play. He lost a lot more than Falele did.
Still got a job too.
Still got a job.
Incredible.
I don't even want Voorhees taking up a spot. He was worse than 77. Yeah, Kwame, that's why. But if this new coaching staff says a lot of the issues are correctable, we corrected it with him, I'm telling you, he's going to be fine. I mean, we ain't got no choice but to go along with it. But
yeah, it depends on what that competition looks like, right? Because if you draft Vega at 14 and he starts over Vega, I'll be like, okay, maybe he got better, right? If you don't draft Vega, like y'all, some of the jerks in here are saying, you draft Kenyon Sadiq, I'll say Emory Jones and John Simpson suck. That's why he's starting.
Oh, if we draft Vega and he starts over Vega, then I definitely don't believe in his coaching staff.
Oh, also fire Eric DaCosta in that case as well. But I'm just saying, like, if he beats out your top 15 pick, I'll be like, okay, maybe he is better, right? Because this guy is supposed to have he's supposed to be just a more talented player, period.
Yeah.
Right. If he beats out John Simpson and Emory Jones, it means nothing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Just like when your third round center beats out Danny Pinter, that don't mean anything. That means nothing. Like, listen, you know what's gonna happen? Dexter Lawrence is gonna come into Baltimore. He's gonna grab Danny Pinter and Andrew Voorhees or John Simpson or Emory Jones by the throat. He's gonna pick both of them up and he's gonna choke slam them onto Lamar Jackson.
Oh my God. I can see that too. I can see that. You can't lose a block if you don't attempt to block. That's right.
I think that's what Paul was out there. He's like, listen, ain't nobody beating me.
Yeah. Listen, that keeps his PFF score intact.
It does, because they don't add context to those numbers. JR, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, big day tomorrow. How confident are you in EDC? 0, but I'm very confident in the new look Baltimore Ravens and Jesse Minter giving his input. So I think they'll bully EDC into doing the right thing.
It's not a 0 for me. I have a little bit of confidence, only because it might be unwarranted. We'll see, but it's a new leaf. It's a new day, right? His friend isn't there to influence him.
Mm-hmm.
He's feeling a little heat on his seat, right? It's not all good there. He knows no matter what the owner's telling him, he could be next year, right? No matter what they say, he could be next. So there is a little bit of pressure, and I feel like he is more serious about getting it right this time around. Now, is he able to do it? I don't know, but I'll give him. I have a little bit more confidence. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit more.
It's funny that we talk about him not being influenced by John Harbaugh anymore, right? But what if the person that's actually influencing him is his friend and mentor Ozzie Newsome, who is still in the building?
100%.
And we know that Ozzie was pretty close to washed when he quit, but he is still influencing Eric DaCosta, and that's why the picks aren't hitting.
Ozzie influences him in other ways, like not signing Tyler Linderbaum. That's an Ozzie influence, right? That's something Ozzie would do, but Ozzie would make it up by replacing him with somebody that was at least serviceable.
Prime Ozzie.
Yeah. So that's something that, and Ozzie, like there's subtle differences, right? Ozzie, I think, had better relationships with other teams, so he could kind of finesse it a little bit better to get some players. Because when he traded for Eugene Monroe, that came from nowhere. We're like, this Eugene Monroe was a starting left tackle.
Yeah,
that's damn near impossible to trade for.
Yeah,
and he wasn't being shopped around. There was no talk that they were willing to get rid of him. And then he called Jacksonville, just like, you want to give me Eugene Monroe? And they're like, okay.
Like, do we?
Yeah.
Kobe, thank you very much again for the super chat. He says we may need to draft an inside linebacker to replace Rosampic. No, you don't.
Okay. All right. That's nothing I want to address.
All
right. I need to look, listen. I need to defend my guy, Roquan, a little bit. He taking too many shots out there. I know what you guys are talking about. You're talking about the pitcher. All right. Looks like he hadn't done anything this offseason, but One. Let me ask you this: if you have to work out in the off season, are you really off? Are you really? Are you really? If you have to work out in the off season, are you really off? I thought this was the off season.
That's that Shaq mentality that prevented him from getting 10 rings.
But no. Seriously, I know. Seriously, I don't think he's overweight. I think these cameras be taking some bad angles of him. You ever get a picture snapped and like your shirt is like going a certain way or whatever? I think he's had some really bad luck with taking pictures. I'm
with you. I'm with you on that because you remember Eddie Lacy. This famously happened to Eddie Lacy one off season where he looked super fat in one picture, but he was actually in really good shape. But the problem is, what ultimately happened to Eddie Lacy? He China fooded his way out the league. So I don't know.
He famously said, "I love China food."
Oh, not one time, multiple times. It's all over his Twitter feed. That man talks about China food more than anything else.
Not Chinese food, China food. That's what he said. China
food. Thank you very much for the super chat. He says, "I have a funny feeling Pickens can be a Cleveland Brown or a Chief tomorrow. That would be awful.
If he was a Brown, I would be sick.
One of those things would be awful." For Baltimore, one of those things would be awful for Pickens. I'll let you decide which is which.
Yeah, like this is what I'm sick of though. I'm sick of these other teams being aggressive, getting these guys that the Ravens should be like not in on. Like they should be making it happen. Like AJ Brown going to the Patriots is unacceptable to me.
Yeah.
Right. When we just showed the ability to go and get top talent and give up our picks to get that talent, to not be able to do that on offense is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you where they prioritize things still. And you're not good enough to just draft those guys flat out. Right.
And you know what? Like if that's where you were going with it, right? Like you're the man, we're all in. We're going to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. Why you don't give up a first and something else for Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah.
Like if that's your mindset. Dexter Lawrence is arguably a better player than Max Crosby. Right? Like he doesn't play edge, but I mean he's arguably better at his position than Max is at his. Right? Yeah. So if that's the road you want to go down and you're saying, hey man, we've got to get to the quarterback, we've got to cause disruption and all this stuff. Why weren't you in on Dexter Lawrence when you made the deal for Max Crosby?
Why weren't we in on Michael Parsons last year?
Yeah.
I mean, he gets hurt a lot too. I get it. But he doesn't have a degenerative knee. Money Mike, what's going on? Mike says Henry work out this offseason. That's why he's goated. I mean, they all work out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all there.
Most of them. Some of them don't. Kobe, thank you very much. He said, Roll looked like Damon at the end of The Great White Hope. Oh, my God.
Oh, David Waynes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know what? He still won the fight.
For those of you who don't know what Damon looked like, famously, Jamie Foxx said he looked like a half-sucked milk dud. And yes, he did win the fight, but that's because he was fighting nobody.
Yes, we should trade for Pickens. I agree. EDC equals every defensive choice. Man, I'm telling you. I feel like we should trade up and take Carnell Tate. I just want to see us be a little bit more aggressive in fixing this offense. We already got put in a hole by not keeping what we had, right? Yeah. They could have at least kept Charlie Kolar, Keaton Mitchell. That surprised me because you weren't breaking the bank on those guys. You could keep them for depth, and they're young, and they're just like, no. And that's another thing that nobody's talking about. We need to get a running back in this draft. Derrick Henry looks great, and it looks like he can play for 2 or 3 more years.
This is not a good running back class either. So,
I mean,
but you know the thing is though,
it depends on who you get.
Like we always say, like it can be a bad class. You're only drafting one player. You're not drafting the class.
Yes.
So you know, I'm sure I'm not saying that there aren't any guys who can play. I'm just saying that if you wait till later, maybe the good ones are gone.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
But I think even because we need a running back even for a change of pace back. Because who's our number 2 running back right now?
Rasheen Ali.
Is it Ali or is it Justice Hill?
I mean, it didn't look like it was Justice Hill last year. It looks like it's Rasheen Ali.
Well, different coaching staff.
Oh, that's true. I'd like to see it be Justice Hill again. I think he earned that job, and I mean he played very well the year before. So I don't know.
We can't do better than those 2 guys in the draft.
Probably not, honestly. Okay. I mean, depending on what level of pick you're willing to use. I mean, if you get Jeremiah Love, obviously you did better than those guys. If you wait Emmett Johnson, if you wait till later, then you may not be able to do better than those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Justice himself was a 4th round pick. It's not like he wasn't a UDFA.
Right. Yeah, but that's a priority.
You know how you could have done better? You could have signed Kenneth Walker or somebody in free agency. I don't know.
Yep.
You could have signed Rico Dowdle if you were just looking for that second running back as a stopgap. With Derrick Henry. That's
where did he go?
That's Rico's career. I believe he went to Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't mind signing Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, he's not anything spectacular, but he's a good solid running back. And if you need a bridge to the next guy, that's Rico.
Well, even just for a number 2 this year.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like until you find whoever it is that's going to be your long-term number 2 or the replacement for Derrick Henry, Rico's that guy. But
yeah. Why didn't y'all keep him? That's what Carmen wants to know.
Well, it didn't end great in Carolina for Rico. He was upset about the offensive line play a bit. We're already paying a running back $8 million a year. We have another running back we drafted in the 2nd round in Jonathan Brooks, and I imagine they're going to add to that room again in this draft, or at least after the draft. So, there wasn't really room for Rico in Carolina. The only reason he was there to begin with is that Jonathan Brooks got hurt again.
Yeah, so it's a little different in Carolina, right? Because Chuba Hubbard is a good running back, but he's not the man, right? They paid him like it. But he's not the man. And Rico Dowdle came in, and for parts of the season, he did get hurt, but when he came back, Rico Dowdle was still outplaying him, right? Yeah. So then there's that. It's that who's really number 1 type of thing, and they already committed a lot of money to Chuba Hubbard. So obviously they're not going to pay Rico Dowdle. So that there's a little bit of that going on there. Him coming to Baltimore, it's clear who the number 1 guy is, who's number 2, right? Yeah. And I think that would work out fine. He knows his role. He can play at times. He can come in at the change of pace back and give you number 1 reps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that would have been a perfect fit here if we would have signed him. Hey, look who's here. What's up, Dre? Shout out to Mr. Galloway. Hey, thanks for coming through, man. Game Too Easy says, real question. When is Leggett getting sent to the A? You really want Xavier Leggett?
I don't know if this is a bit that you're doing, but if you want it, right, bro, you come pick him up whenever. You don't even have to give us anything.
Yeah,
just come pick him up.
Yeah,
we're not buying the plane ticket. That's all.
All right, hour in. This is going. We're gonna make this a shorter show. We're gonna try to. We're an hour in. We still gotta do submitted questions, and we're gonna read the results from the poll. Apologize for the folks that didn't get the newsletter. We're gonna get that fixed for next week. All right. Hopefully we don't have to chase you guys down to submit your email again. It should be there. We'll get that worked out. All right. But we're putting up polls, and then what we're gonna do is read the results of the poll on the show. Right, because we're making the newsletter a little interactive. Also gives you links to the website so you can buy some nice merch like this. All right. I'd be more Bleeds Purple. I know you guys, some of you guys weren't able to get the jerseys. They're on back order. But this is just as good. All right. Y'all love that Fells Point Mafia hoodie now that you get the reference.
Yeah, thank you again, Jay. Appreciate it. He says, how mad would y'all be if they take a corner at 14? Apparently it's a real possibility. It's always a possibility for Baltimore.
I would be really upset. That'd be the thing that get me upset.
And again, and we want to be clear, it's not a shot at the players. Mansour Delane is an excellent player. Anybody would want him on the team for sure, right? But y'all need somebody who can block.
Yeah.
You need somebody who can catch.
Yeah. That would make me really upset.
And if you're going to go defense, that's not even the number one spot on defense to go because you need an interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Which you're not really taking to 14, but that's, neither here nor there.
I don't want a corner. I don't want, and listen, and this guy I think is going to be an amazing player. But if Sonny Styles is within our range, dude, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not go linebacker.
They will do it. If Sonny Styles is if he gets within striking distance, they will strike.
Don't do it. Okay.
What do you mean don't do it? You cannot.
We got Harold Perkins. We got Harold Perkins. That's another person we picked up. Harold Perkins. We got Harold Perkins in the 4th. All right. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look, you cannot ask Eric DeCosta to not draft Ray Styles. All right.
Yeah. Those are things we have to avoid. Okay. You have to protect Lamar. All right. Like, because these guys aren't going to look nearly as good if Lamar don't play. Yeah. They won't. They will get lit up. Right. The O-line will get blown up. Somebody look, God made me. He asked earlier. He said, Pinter or Lou, what you gonna do? All right.
Came too easy. I just read one of the questions you submitted, and shame on you, sir.
As bad as Bobby when you criticized a white QB. Lord. Man, y'all are not nice to Bobby. Stop messing with our friend. He got mad when I called him that too. I was like, our friend Bobby. Oh, we're friends now? I was like, no, I was making a joke. We're the furthest thing from friends. I'd be angry beyond belief if we took a corner. I would be so mad, right? Because you're killing the good vibes. Like a lot of positive vibes are in the air. I saw a video earlier. Somebody posted it in our Discord of the person that lady from the UK that's going to be representing the Ravens at the draft, calling one of their picks in whichever round. Mm-hmm. And Jesse Minter introduced her to the team. They're all at practice and they're all cheering her on and everything. I'm just like, first of all, everybody's there early in April. Like it looks like a full attendance. Mm-hmm. Everybody's there. Everybody's smiling. It looks like, I know it's just a little clip, but it looks like spirits are up. Everybody's happy to be there. Everybody wants to be around there, and I didn't see that the last couple of years, right? With Harbaugh. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So
it's just a different vibe. Don't mess it up by getting a corner in the first round. That's all I'm saying. Don't do that. All right. Oh yes. Oh, we're friends. Y'all funny, man. All right. Let's do the poll first. Let's do the poll and then we'll do some submitted questions. All right, I did. Go ahead and bring this up. This is from the newsletter. And again, I apologize if you try to sign up and you didn't get the newsletter. We will get that worked out for next week. If we need you guys to submit your emails again, I'll post it on the screen. I'll remind you all throughout the week to do that. So the question is, where will the Ravens go with the 14th pick? All right. And it's 50-50. All right. So only two of y'all. And again, this wasn't, a lot of you guys didn't get access to it. The ones that did, and it was a handful of y'all, if you didn't know, you get the newsletter, you can scroll down to the bottom. I think it's at the bottom is where you'll see the poll. So a lot of stuff in that newsletter. So check it out. So it's 50-50 offensive line and any defensive position. No wide receiver, no running back. But the question is, where will they go? Not where do we want them to go?
Yeah. And I think this pretty accurately represents what might be going down on Thursday. Like there's a 50-50 shot that y'all are going to be real happy or really, really upset.
Yeah. Well, I think, it's like, I think it's 75%, right? Because if they get an edge, they get a D tackle. Well, now that we're talking about D tackles not being first round ready, I'd be very uncomfortable with that. But if we end up getting Ruben Bain, I won't be upset by it. I won't like it, but I won't be upset by it.
Yeah.
We just don't go corner, man. Don't do this.
Don't go corner. Don't go safety. Don't go linebacker. Go
and don't go edge.
Yeah, go O-line.
Go O-line.
Don't go defense. Is what we're saying.
Don't go defense on day 2 either.
That's asking a lot.
We have what, 2 or 3 picks?
I believe they just have the 2.
Yeah, don't go defense day 2 either. Don't do it. I believe that they're looking to get a veteran center after the draft, but I still think we need to get a young center to groom and be ready to go this time around. Right? Okay. For the Corey Bullock fans, the Corey Bullock believers out there, how good do you think Corey Bullock could be at center? Do you think, hey, what's up, Danity? She says, welcome all 124 in the chat. Yes, appreciate that. Hit the like and subscribe button as you enter. Super chat is available. Cash out $ LBHT show. Patreon.com/LBHT show is where you can find us on our overtime show. That's happening next. There's a whole lot going on the overtime show. Did y'all know there was a robbery yesterday in Philly? A Brinks truck got robbed. Clean getaway. We're going to talk about that. All right. Appreciate you coming through, Danity. But Corey Bullock, how okay, user says Bullock floor is Falele. What's his ceiling? Like, what do you think he could be this year? Don't tell me what he could be. Tell me what you think he's going to be. If you think Corey Bullock is a viable solution to the center problem, right? Tell me what you think he's going to be. How good do you think he's going to be?
I'll tell you what I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be on the bench.
Okay. Anybody that thinks he could be a true Pro Bowl caliber? True Pro Bowl, not Pro Bowl alternate. A Pro Bowl caliber?
Because I honestly don't think he's even going to be in the mix. I think as of right now, going into the draft, you're looking at Simpson, Pinter, Jones as your starting interior line. And then if they draft somebody, then that can shake up. But I don't think Corey Bullock's in the mix.
Does anybody have any faith in Danny Pinter? Any Danny Pinter truthers out there? No? Corey Bullock equals we don't have a center.
Yeah.
Celia's a preseason starter.
and he means game 3 because
negative. Your mind says, "Dang, I gotta think about Corey Bullock." So, if that's what you believe, okay. If that's what you believe, I just want to remind you because you would have forgotten it by now. I just want to remind you that we could have just paid the $27 million to Tyler Linderbaum, and guess what would happen right now if we paid Tyler Linderbaum $27 million? We have a starting center, and you guys would already stop talking about the $27 million.
Mm-hmm.
It would already be over and done with, and you would not bring it back up again unless he just fell off a cliff and he just couldn't play anymore. Then by then we paid this man $27 million. But that wasn't going to happen. We would have talked about it for that week. Yeah. We'd have moved on, and we'd have said, okay, we're good at center, right? We're good at tackle. We brought in John Simpson. We don't like John Simpson, but if we get Vega, all in all, our O-line is set. We're good. You don't have to worry about it. The $27 million wouldn't even be a talking point because these salaries are never a talking point after they get paid.
No, never. People laughed at Carolina when Robert Hunt got the $20 million a year, at guard for, a few weeks in the offseason, and then it never got brought up again.
Yeah.
And it never would. The end of the Tyler Linderbaum conversation would have been, well, at least we got one of the best centers in the league. And then that would have been the end of it. And then it would have been, what are we doing at guard? I don't think they would even assign John Simpson. I think you would have been looking at Emory Jones and Vega. And then maybe they go and get a cheaper veteran to bring in. But I don't think you're paying $10 million for John Simpson at that point, and jeopardizing your quarterback that way. It's Tyler, it's Emory, and then, hey, we drafted a guy in the first round, and then maybe we'll pick somebody up after the draft, to add a little depth.
Yeah. So, and so we're up against it, man. We're up against it. Early on, people were like, yeah, Corey Bullock could be the guy. And okay, let's say he is. Let's say he is Pro Bowl caliber level. Are we saying, hey, EDC did it again? We say, hey, EDC got it right. He had faith in Corey Bullock, and now we have our center. Would y'all feel good? Would y'all feel good if Corey Bullock turned out to be a really good center? Would you be high-fiving EDC? Put some high-five emojis in the chat. I want to see. I'm going somewhere with this. You guys say, hey, EDC, well done. We got it wrong. Like you were right, we were wrong. Or Danny Pinter. He turns out, he just wasn't given an opportunity like Bateman. He just needed an opportunity, right? They saw those 11 snaps he took, right?
He started 10 games, right? Like, he's been out there.
Luke says that would have been an infinitely better situation. Oh yeah, paying $27 million. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Danity said no, he just got lucky. Starting center or good compared to other centers. I'm talking about like Pro Bowl caliber, like true Pro Bowl caliber. Like he's one of the better centers. Like so good, we're just like, hey, you know what? He's just as good as Linderbaum. And he might be even a little better because he's a bigger center. Would y'all say, hey, EDC, you the man? Don't put any pressure on Bullock. He's enjoying getting paid on the bench. Hey, and I salute that man. Okay. If you can get paid that kind of money and not be expected to put in the work, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep your job, especially in the NFL. They earn every penny of their contract. So, all right, it's crickets. People are just like, I didn't say all that. Okay, they are showing no faith in Corey Bullock whatsoever. Okay, the reason why I was asking because if he did turn out to be just, he's just better than we thought, right? Luke says if that happens, then EDC will achieve "Don't Doubt Me" status. Okay, he achieves "Don't Doubt Me" status. You got it right on Corey Bullock. He's the man. He might even be better than Tyler Linderbaum. See, that's why we didn't have to pay $27 million, right? Well, how many years did we sign Corey Bullock to? Just the one? 1 year? 1 year deal. So he balls out this year. And remember, he's better than Tyler Linderbaum. He's also younger than Tyler Linderbaum. Money Mike says, we going this season. Does great O-line coach really make a major difference? No. Well, I mean, it makes a difference. We have a young O-line. But Corey Bullock has a 1 year deal. So if he plays better than Tyler Linderbaum, he's going to come to you and say, I want $28 million.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do then? Are we going to say he's not worth it?
We're going to say, EDC, do it again.
Yeah.
But, the other part of that, and like I would, like Danity's right. It would be luck. But luck is part of it. Every GM gets lucky. I'd give him credit for it. But the danger in that is when GMs get lucky like that, they tend to want to continue to get lucky like that. This happened in Carolina. And Carolina found Jake Delhomme. He was a nobody, right? He was in New Orleans. They picked him up for like a 5th round pick, and then he took them to the Super Bowl. And that changed the whole mindset of the franchise. They started dumpster diving at every opportunity, and you saw what happened the last 7 years as a result, right? Like they got that roster into such a terrible state that it took, 3 or 4 regimes to really get it turned around, because they said, hey, you know what? We've gotten lucky before. We got lucky with Jake Delhomme. We got kind of lucky with Steve Smith. He was a 3rd round pick, right? Turned out to be, a great receiver, right? Hey, we got lucky with Mike Remmers to an extent. They signed him off a practice squad, and he was a starting tackle on the team that went to the Super Bowl. And they want to keep on, they chase that feeling, and that's happened in Baltimore too. And I think, it may not have started here, but the moment that stands out to me is when, hey man, we need an edge rusher badly, and couldn't find one. Did not get one in free agency, and then oops, Elvis Dumerville's agent didn't fax his contract in time. He's a free agent now. He just falls into Baltimore's lap, and that's what they've been doing ever since. They've just been like, hey, if we just wait, the answer will arrive. Yeah, and it's not always like that.
No. Kobe says Corey doesn't have the track record to ask for a big raise, even if he plays well. Well,
doesn't matter.
That's not how the market works, though, right? If he has a really good year, right, and he's young, he hits free agency. There are teams, because it's one of those positions, like O-line in general. A good O-lineman, no matter where you play, is a premium position. There aren't enough good O-linemen out there, so they're gonna look at it and be like, "Shoot, I'll pay him." The Raiders proved it to you. There's always gonna be a Raiders type team every year that has money to spend and just aren't good, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll give him the money." Right? We can't. Our organization doesn't have the ability. And I gotta put Sashi Brown in this too, because it ain't EDC managing the money, managing the cap.
Yeah.
I don't know sure what Sashi Brown does over there. I thought that was his job, but we always seem to miscalculate what players are going to make in free agency. So though you're right, Kobe, you're right. He doesn't have a track record to be like, I want this kind of money. But he's going to get an agent. Well, he'll have an agent, and the agent will assess the market. And of course, like we all pretend like these teams don't tamper. They tamper. They know exactly what they're going to make. When they ask for a certain amount of money, that's not a guess. That's not them being Dr. Evil saying, I want $100 billion, right? Like they're not doing that thing. Like they've done the math. So when he comes to you and says $28 million, he already knows somebody's going to pay him that.
Yeah.
And it always catches us off guard because we think, oh, well, go test the market. Shoot, go test the market. And see, here's what we'll offer you, and see if you can beat that. They always beat that these days.
And listen, like you said, it doesn't matter whether you have the track record. And Jackson Smith and Jigba didn't have the track record to get $42 million a year. He had one good season, 1,100 yards. His rookie year, he had 600 yards, and then he blew up in his contract year, and you have to pay him.
Yeah.
Like if you think that he doesn't have the track record to get that $42 million, he'll get it from somebody else. Like you said, there's always a team that is that's willing to be aggressive and take that chance on your talent if you're not willing to pay them. Somebody will always pay them.
SSJ says, and their refusal to surround him with a good supporting cast. Also, good evening. Good evening. Oh, he's saying, is it not the same way with Lamar in a way, and the refusal to surround him with good supporting cast? Yeah. I mean, like, look, they have to do it. They just have to do it. Like, they put themselves in a situation where it doesn't feel good having to spend money in the trenches, right? Because they don't give you highlights, but you see what happens when you don't put the money there.
Yeah.
Killer says he's back. He had to drive home. I'm glad you drove safely.
Yes. And
thank you. Now that you're back, we can do submitted questions. All right. Bullock doesn't have years of elite performance like Linderbaum to demand that. He can demand it's not about your experience.
All Ravens fans just finished telling us that he was terrible last season.
Who?
Linderbaum.
Linderbaum.
That's what we heard all offseason is that, whoa, you can't pay him that. He wasn't even good last year.
It's not about experience. It's about playing right at the right time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the market demands. He's young, and he's coming off a really good year. That's what people are going to look at. That's what we look at when we bring guys in. We don't look at what they did the last 3 years. We always look at what they did the previous year, right? And if he has a really good year this year, and he hits free agency, I promise you, he will go for more than we expect. Right?
Yeah, not to say that he's automatically going to get 28 or whatever, but he's going to get paid a lot of money if he has that kind of year.
Yeah,
it's just the way the league works, and that's why you always have people cautioning you against paying players in contract years. This is throughout the history of all sports. Players will give you their absolute best when they're trying to cash in.
Yeah. The Nigerian Nightmare, salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Says salute, gents. I'm just tuning in. What is good, my unkindness family? Yes. And if you don't know, an unkindness is a flock of ravens.
Yes.
All right. Mangini doesn't think black QBs need help. Just run my guy. Mangini is one of the biggest idiots out there. He's a prime example of what happens when nepotism reaches his height. Okay. He's there. He got that job because he knows somebody, not because he can coach. Damn sure not because he can inspire anybody. All right. He had to go all pro, even get half of that. Yeah. King, I don't think he has to go all pro. I think he has to, if he plays solid, he will make a lot more money than you realize. It is hard to get good starting O linemen.
Yeah.
It's proof of it, right? Because we're sitting here talking about Corey Bullock. We have no answers for center, right? Like it's really hard. And this is all hypothetical anyway. Like I don't think he's gonna play.
Well, and the other thing too is look at Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips' best year was 8.5 sacks in his rookie year. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then he went down to 7, 6.5, 1, and then he had 5 last year. But because he got traded to Philly and he had a strong second half of the season, and he played very well for the Eagles, he got $30 million a year.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the track record to get anywhere near that.
Yep.
But the fact is that he got into a position to play well when he needed to play well right before he hit free agency, and he priced himself out of Philadelphia and he cashed in. Like it doesn't happen. I know we're saying it doesn't happen every single offseason, because guys don't get into those positions every offseason. But if you get yourself into that position where you're playing in your contract year, you get into a starting role or a role where you're able to excel, then you are going to get paid.
Yeah. All right, SB Cam, have a good night. Appreciate you coming through. All right, let's do some more questions, and we'll hit up the overtime show. The overtime show, we have a few things to discuss. There's some update to the Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel drama. Okay, we'll give an update on that. There's all kinds. This World Cup that's supposed to be hosted here is going to be a complete disaster, and we're going to break that all down. Nike is upsetting its runners, its marathon runners and walkers. Okay, and there's a little robbery. Okay, there's a little robbery that went down yesterday. We'll discuss that. And WWE, are they selling it? Are they mailing it in? Just for a quick buck? I don't know. We there's a lot of topics. So come over to the overtime show, patreon.com/LBHTShow. We're going to discuss all that and more. All right.
By the way, Zach Bond, another good example of that, who was essentially a bust in New Orleans, got to Philly, went all pro in his only season in Philly and got paid.
That's right. I forgot about that. Hey, no, we have an example here though. Paul Kruger. You don't remember Paul Kruger? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened with Paul Kruger. He wasn't good until that last year when we went to the Super Bowl. And wait, was he on a Super Bowl team?
I don't remember.
It might be before. It might have been right before he went to the Super Bowl. He might. I don't think. But he may not have been on the Super Bowl team. He might have left right before that. But he had one really hot year. Oh, he was. Okay, thank you, Just Allo. Thank you. He had that one really hot year and cashed in. Yeah, it only takes 1 year.
All right, we're gonna game too easy. We're gonna go through all three of your questions. I'm gonna start with the bad one and try to let you redeem yourself with the others. All right. Should the order of teams draft in be revamped? I don't like that your team can be rewarded with a top 5 pick for being bad. That's not what he said, but
okay.
I think at least whoever wins the bowl should be guaranteed the number 1 pick. Imagine the Super Bowl winning team getting the number 1 pick every year. I have never heard an idea so awful. Well, yes, I have. The wheel in the NBA, where the draft position is just fixed every year. But no, the entire point of the draft is for the bad teams to get better. That's the entire. If you're not going to give the worst team the top pick, get rid of the draft. There's no point in having it other than, artificially suppressing player salaries.
Like okay, I get it in basketball because basketball does it completely wrong. They do the stupid lottery, and then you end up having more teams tanking instead of just a handful of teams tanking. But what do you have in general of a bad team is like, look, we suck. We're trying to get our franchise quarterback and build around them. What do you have against that?
Yeah.
Because the reality is this, right? Me and B are for no drafts at all in any sports. Just free agency, it could be like a national signing day or period or whatever, like they do in college. Let players go where they want to go. And the teams that are serious about winning will build their teams accordingly. I know the first thought is, well, how do bad teams or smaller market teams ever get good players? Because good players want to get paid and they want a chance to start and be stars. And if you go to a team that's already stacked at your position, you can't get paid there and you can't shine there. Yeah. So eventually it'll trickle down to the teams that want to win. Also, for teams like the Browns, like the Raiders, like your perennial losers. How many times have we seen them get the top picks, the top 5 picks, right? And it's still not good. So, is it working for them? No, it's because they're bad organizations. They don't do well putting together competitive teams, right? So whether there was a draft or not, they're bad because they want to be bad. Because you know what hurts the league more than tanking? Revenue sharing.
Yeah.
Right? When they know it doesn't matter if I'm good or not, I'm going to get paid the same. The Browns are going to get paid the same way as the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
They're making the same money. So what does it matter if I suck? That's what it is.
All right, game. You kind of redeemed yourself a little bit with this one. I don't think that Ravens fans are going to agree with that, but here we go. Does saying Matabike isn't good enough make me a hater? Because I responded to a fan reporting that reposting that mundane sack he had on Josh week 1, which was the only one, and said, what did he do the rest of the game? And he responded with the box score that said 1 sack, 1 QB hit, and 4 solo tackles. And the go-to rebuttal is always to bring up 23 seasons like we're not in 2026. Why can't he reciprocate that same season if he's such a game wrecker? A change in defensive coordinator shouldn't affect your D-line. That's why I can't blame Zach for everything. All the vets on defense should have been making it easy for him. I'm sorry you read all this, B.
No, okay. So, okay. This was early on because Matt BK got hurt earlier in the season.
Yeah.
But before he went out, me and B were making this point about the defense, including Matt BK, and his impact on the defense. Right? Yes, he matters. When he's healthy, he helps out the defense. But to say it was like when we were like, hey, it's a big loss and he's such a big piece of the defense. I'm like, he was a part of those games where we're giving up 40 points. 40 points to
Hey, another example of a guy who balled out one year and got paid. Nadu Madubuike.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you get 40 points in a game. Nobody did their job. Right? Like nobody did their job. Hashtag pray for Wemby. Yeah, that was a really bad fall he took yesterday.
It was.
Oh, I hate to see that. Oh my God, I hate to see that. But yes, yes, you're right. He's not as good as we project, but that's what we do as fans. We project our players to be better than they actually are sometimes. And Nnamdi's one of those players, but I think he's still a quality player.
Yeah, he's a good player. It does not make you a hater to say that he's not as good. Nobody is as good as Ravens fans say they are. And that includes Lamar Jackson, because Ravens fans say he's bad and he's great. Like, they are not accurate on any of their players. So no, that does not make you a hater.
Some Ravens fans.
Yes. All right, last one from Game.
Some fans I watch none Ravens fans.
He says, what has Eric DaCosta done for us to still see fans calling him a top 5 GM? I said on Twitter that Jerry Jones is a better GM. I got called crazy. Ravens fan base is the best definition of delusional. All right, I'll say this, man. Jerry Jones is not a better GM than Eric DaCosta, but he's nowhere near top 5. He has the pedigree. He has the prestige of working for the Ravens and working with Ozzie and, winning that Super Bowl and everything. And so that's kind of where that comes from and why they still stick to that. And then, Lamar is winning a lot of games. They've been a good team, but it hasn't really been because of Eric DaCosta. The issues with the team, he has not been able to fix. And now you see there are some parts of the team that he's actively harming. Right. So no, I don't think he's a good GM. He's not worse than Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Man, Kwame, you mad insensitive. He says, what's wrong with Wemby? Nigerian Nightmares, told him, hey, a concussion. He says, we praying for concussions now. Yeah, man. Those are head.
I thought you was in healthcare, my man. Like, what is going on? Good Lord.
Wait. Kwame you were former military, right? I know what you did. I remember having to go to an army post, go over to those clinics. They here take some Motrin. Take some Motrin and hydrate. That's the answer to everything. I broke my wrist. Here, I give you a little extra Motrin, right? And here's a waiver. Back, like, get out of here. Yeah, I treat military. See, that's why you thinking the way you thinking. That's it right there. So speaking of, I got a military story for you. Now this has derailed, right? My direct report at the time, all right, I'm not gonna put her name out there. She was a sergeant. She came to work one day. We're at Fort Meade, and she was telling me how she woke up and she didn't feel good, and she's like she felt really sick, but then like she feels she was feeling a little better. And I was like, well, what was wrong with you? And she was like, yeah, I woke up like my head hurt and like half my face felt numb. I was like, numb? And she's like, yeah. I was like, yo, did you call the doctor? She's like, yeah, I called over to Kimbrough. All right, over at Fort Meade. All right. And they were like, yeah, they told me to come in later. And I was like, yo, I think you had a stroke. That sounds like a stroke. So I called back over and I was like, hey, my sergeant here said that her face felt numb, and somebody over there told her to come in like around 1 o'clock. It was like later on, it was like 1 o'clock or whatever for an appointment. But I'm not a doctor, but that sounds like a stroke symptom. And the person on the phone was like, yo, bring her in immediately. And sure enough, that's what she had. She had a mini stroke. But that's what you guys do over there.
I didn't know she was talking to Kwame. That's terrible.
No, but no, like it was. So if you see how he fell, it was really bad.
Yeah,
like he's already a tall guy. He fell down and hit, and his head bounced off the ground like a basketball.
Face bounced off the ground.
His face, yeah, and he was out for a second.
Yeah.
It
That was
was really
very,
bad.
very, very unfortunate.
It's different from fall, like banging your head, on the grass is a lot different from banging your head on hardwood.
Especially when you fall in that long ways.
Yeah.
You get it to terminal velocity real quick. But anyway, moving on. That's the last one from Game Too Easy. Thank you very much, Game. We got a question from Shug, our guy Shug. You were not late. No need to apologize for being late. Because my question this week is a sports take that you got completely wrong. I know Jose's co-host Hendo has a lot of these. I probably didn't need to read that part, seeing as how he's not on the show, but I felt it was important context to add. I'll start out. I got one completely wrong. Luke Kuechly. When they drafted Luke Kuechly, I wanted I honestly can't even remember who it was in that draft. I'll have to look it up. But I said Luke Kuechly, he'll probably be an okay linebacker, but you don't draft a middle linebacker at 9. That's a terrible pick. And Luke Kuechly turned out to be the greatest middle linebacker of all time. And I could not have gotten that more wrong.
So we're talking about people that we got wrong in terms of like who we wanted to draft.
No, just any sports take.
Like I'll tell you one that okay, this is a draft one too, but Joe Flacco, right? I was distraught when we drafted Joe Flacco because leading up to the draft, Mel Kiper kept on bringing up Joe Flacco every chance he got. And I was like, yo, is this Joe Flacco's agent? Because he be talking about like, somebody asking him about the linebacker group or this and that. He'd be like, yeah. But Joe Flacco, blah, 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 Joe Flacco. And I used to always just joke about it. Like, man, this man is in love with Joe Flacco, right? Mm-hmm. And when we drafted this, we traded down, then we traded up, right? And then we got him. I said, oh my God. Because Troy Smith was supposed to be our starter. We just got, we're starting to phase out Kyle Bowler. Yeah, Troy Smith. Yes, we're starting to phase out Kyle Bowler. Kyle Bowler was the worst, but Troy Smith was solid. He was solid, and I was like, we're good. And we drafted Joe Flacco. I was like, yo, why we waste our pick like that? Troy Smith is gonna be the guy, right? And in preseason, it looked that way. Troy Smith looked better than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco didn't look great, and then Troy Smith got sick. He got really sick, and Flacco had to start. I was like, well, that's the season. But Joe Flacco, he went Joe Flacco. Y'all know the rest.
Don't believe
the rest. I got that completely wrong.
All right. Ray Lewis, the greatest middle linebacker, the GOAT. That's also a take you gotten wrong, B. Nah, y'all are under that Baltimore propaganda. It's not Ray. And I'm not saying that Ray wasn't great. Ray is the second greatest middle linebacker of all time. He's the second greatest middle linebacker of all time. But Luke Kuechly came in the league and he won defensive rookie of the year. Then he won defensive player of the year, and then he was all pro every single season of his career. After that, he's the greatest of all time. He quit early.
That was the greatest all time. But
he quit early, so he doesn't have the same kind of. He doesn't have the counting.
So you got 8 defensive player of the year is what you're saying.
He doesn't have the
Lewis has multiple.
He doesn't have the counting stats that Ray has because he quit early. He didn't hang on and gravy train to a championship like Ray did.
So does it have the stats? Quitter. No rings. Okay, cool. No. Okay, yeah. You're making a real good case for Luke. You're making a real good case, B.
Doesn't have the murder charges. Doesn't have the fake personality.
But no, just put some ice on it. Isn't that what you and Pay the Bill said? Put some ice on it. Ice and Motrin.
His brain quit on him from the guy who was just like, we praying for concussions now.
Ice and Tylenol is all you need.
He wasn't a cheater like Ray. That is true. He wasn't a cheater and a criminal like that, and fake pastor like Ray. But he was a better football player. And that's all right.
He was a better.
He was a better football player.
He was amazing, but he wasn't better.
100% better. Let me rephrase that. Not 100% better. I mean, 100% that he was better than Ray. Not that he's like twice the player Ray was.
You know what's going on. You know what's going on, Ravens fans. You're getting a taste of your own medicine now. That's how you sound when you're telling people.
When you tell Kyle Hamilton is Ed Reed.
Wait, I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna say when you say, "Hey, we don't need Justin Jefferson or AJ Brown because we got Rashad Bateman." That's what you sound like.
Right.
That's what you sound like to everybody else.
Except this is legitimate because Luke Kuechly is an all-time great.
He's not. He is all-time great.
He's not an all-time great. Wow, Ravens fans. Wow. You hear this nonsense? This is what y'all sound like. This is what y'all sound like. All right, anyway, moving on. This is a last question. This one from Just Allo. He says, Jose and Brodny, if either of you, this is a good question. If either of you had the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, who would you pick for both the Ravens and the Panthers? I'll let you start that one off there.
Okay. Luke K says Ray Lewis is fake now. As a person, yes. As a person, I don't like Ray Lewis.
Absolutely. 100% as a person.
As a player, he's amazing.
Yeah, nobody's disparaging Ray as a player.
No.
As a person?
As a person, no. So if we had a number 1 pick in this draft,
number 1 overall pick, who are you taking for the Baltimore Ravens?
Sonny Styles. No, I'm just kidding. No. I lied to you all. I need Sonny Styles. That's interesting. I don't think my pick would change that much. I would probably get the Miami tackle, Maoga.
Yeah.
It would still be O-line, or it's either Maoga or Carnell Tate or Jemiah Love. I would go Maoga just because if we had made a better investment in the O-line before we got to the draft, that answer would have changed. But we have to strengthen this O-line. So yeah, Miami tackle. That's my answer.
Okay. For me, I'm going probably it's between 2 players. It's between Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain. Probably Reese. I think he's a little bit more versatile. But it would even though we need the wide receiver, tight end, need to help out the O-line, picking number 1 overall, you just got to go with the best player there, right? Yeah. So I think I would lean Arvell Reese. Actually, I'm not even going to put Ruben in it. I said Ruben because I'm a Miami fan, but it would be between Sonny and Arvell.
Okay.
Probably Arvell.
Yeah. I was joking about Sonny, world class. Relax. Relax. I would not pick him. No, because that stemmed from early. You just got here. That's why. Because earlier I was saying we better not mess around and get Sonny Styles. I will lose it. You go Jemiah Love. Yeah, I'm see world class. If we had re-signed Tyler Linderbaum, had we gotten a different old lineman not named John Simpson, I'd be like, look, we doing all right. We don't have to go guard early, right? Jemiah Love would be my pick. But we're really hurting on that O-line. We need to reinforce that. So that's why I go O-line. Or Carnell Tate. Okay, that is it. Still over 100 people in here. And this was not a quick show. I thought we were going to end this sooner. But you guys going on a little rant. But that was fun. Come over to the Overtime Show and hang out with us. You can ask us any questions that you want. We have a lot of stories to discuss. We'll be discussing it, but whatever you guys want us to talk about, we'll talk about that on the Overtime Show. Ferris says Sonny Styles diagnosing was a bit slow in some of the tape I watched. Yeah, no, there are no perfect players ever, but you have to determine which players are going to make that transition to the league and turn and step their game up. You also, there's so many things to factor in other than just what you see on tape. You have to evaluate the coaching staff as well, right? What is that player being taught to do? How does he train? What kind of, what's his training regimen? What kind of diet does he have? What are they actually telling him to do? And you don't know that unless you get to interview those people, because some of these players, you see it. You see it when they have those sessions with like Gruden or whoever, right? And they're talking to when Mariucci used to do that, and you're talking to them, and then they'll tell you something, that's, or the coach will tell them something that they haven't heard of, whatever. That's just a coaching thing. And if they're and if you can correct those things, then you have a player that you never knew you would have otherwise. So there's a lot that factors into it.
Homie says, if Linderbaum is the reason we are able to get Hendrickson, I'm good. That's a good take, considering how well paying Trey Hendrickson and ignoring the O-line worked out for his former team.
Give me Linderbaum over Henderson all day, every day.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Trey Henderson. I don't think he makes that much of a difference.
No.
And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying he doesn't make any difference. I don't think he makes enough of a difference to justify neglecting your O-line.
Right.
I don't think Max Crosby did either.
No edge does.
Yeah.
It's just not an impactful enough position to justify ignoring your O-line.
Yeah. All right. We're getting out of here. Y'all hit that like button. Look, go over to LBHTShow.com. I would say sign up for the newsletter. Sign up. We'll get that worked out. Apologize for those of y'all that didn't get it this week, which was a lot, but we'll get that worked out. And buy some merch. Check out the merch. Okay. Check out the Fells Point Mafia hoodie. Okay. That's what sparked this whole Bobby talk earlier. All right. If you don't know that story, come over to Overtime Show. We'll, I'll get you caught up on that. But there's a lot to talk about. So go over to patreon.com/LBHTShow. Just $5. That's all it costs for the month. Or you can sign up to be a member. And shout out to not Cian Addict. It was, who was it earlier that gifted the subs? Who was it?
I do not know.
I can see his name. I can't remember his name. I apologize, but he gifted 5 subs earlier this morning, or memberships, I should say, not subs, memberships. Don C, thank you, Adelia. Don C, shout out to Don C for gifting 5 memberships. Okay, so for those of you guys who are new members, just go over to the community tab, and in the members section, it should the link for the Overtime Show will be there. All right. Also, the link for the Discord is in there as well. Okay. He didn't really do much at safety either. They couldn't figure out what to do with him. With who? Sonny Styles?
Sonny Styles.
Yeah. Well, as long as we don't draft him, I don't care. One more like. Can we get to 80 before we leave? I like that. Yes. Let's get to 80 before we go. But we're leaving now. Styles, yes. Okay. We thank you in advance for that extra like. All right, B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Adelia, are you ready? She's giving the thumbs up. Thank y'all very much. Hey, tomorrow, draft day. We made it. We're here.
We bringing an Oregon Duck home, either Kenyon or Thieneman.
All right, positive vibes, y'all. Positive vibes. Y'all get some rest. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.